So, good morning everybody. It's a little bit wet outside today, so I've had to find another little place in the garden to do this practice. First of all, I want to thank you all for your feedback yesterday. It was really good, and thank you for taking the time to watch the video and for giving me that feedback. I also want to thank my friend Brenda, who suggested to me that I actually do this for all the people that I am connected with. So today what we're going to do is a very gentle practice, being mindful again that if you come to a point in the practice where you've had enough, please feel free just to come and rest. So today we're actually going to start by lying on our backs, and for those of you who have back problems, it's sometimes a good idea to have a pillow which you can place under your knees if you wish. So let's begin by bringing the hands onto the chest and then onto the belly. And we're just going to slowly bring our focus inwards, so taking a couple of breaths here and then slowly bringing your attention inwards, taking a nice big inhale and then exhaling as you find yourself coming into your space, into your physical space on the mat today. Now I want you to think of your lungs like a vessel. So if we want to be really maximising the benefits of our lungs, we need to be filling them from the bases, up through the middle, and then right up to the collarbones. And yogis call this the three-part breathing. So you don't have to get it right, but just have some sense of awareness of this filling of your lungs as you come into your practice. See if you can breathe in through your nose. And I want you to, in your mind, be counting maybe to the count of 3 or 4 or 5 for the inhale. Just hold it just for a moment. And then gently exhaling, making that count just one breath longer. What I want you to do now is to move your hands down to your belly and have your little middle fingers touching. So as you inhale now, filling from the base, just feel those fingers just separate. And then as you exhale, slowly those fingers come back together. So pulling the belly button right back in towards the spine. By doing this, we actually use the breath to harness our ability to control our autonomic nervous system. So switching maybe from a state of stress into a state of relaxation. So moving from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system, which allows our bodies to function in a healthy, healing way. So again, throughout your practice today, think of your intention. Remember, the most important thing is the inflow and outflow of breath. Imagine that as you inhale, each one of those little oxygen molecules becomes lit in your favourite colour. And as they attach themselves to the heme in your blood cells and they float around your body, you see them giving light to all of your tissues and cells in your body, so that when you finish your practice today, you have a glow which just belongs to you. So let's now bring that hands above the head. So taking a nice big stretch here. So stretching down the right side of the body and then the left side of the body. Really waking the body up to the day. Feeling the splendour of actually just being able to be alive. Let's now bring the hands up above the chest and turn the palms out, taking a nice big stretch up here. Flex your feet back and then extend them. So beginning to get a sense of your physical body as you switch those muscles on and off, both in your legs and in your arms. Let's now bring the hands out to the side of the body and place the palms flat down onto the ground. And then I want you just to apply a little bit of pressure into the ground. So as you do that, you'll feel your pectoral muscles in your chest working, and all the muscles down into your arms, right into your fingers being activated. And then at the same time as this, you're going to flex and extend your feet. So again, switching on the muscles in your calves and your thighs. Again, really getting a sense of your physical body. So what does that feel like on the mat for you today? So this is what we call mindfulness, being in the present moment. And then maybe just take a moment to listen to the sounds about you. Okay, very gently now, you're just going to rock your head over to the left. Imagine there's someone in the sky pulling your nose back to centre. Then you're gently going to rock your head over to the right and come back through centre. And then over to the other side again and back to centre. And one more time over to the right and coming back to centre. Let's now come into what we call our banana asana. So what we do is open up each side of the body. So to begin with, just bring your hands gently back in beside your body. Lift your upper torso over to the right. Lift your arms above your head and then take your right hand and grab hold of your left wrist. You might like to move over a little bit more once you can feel the limit of your stretch there. And then move your feet now over to the right and then cross your left leg over your right ankle. And then again, breathing into the space, so feeling that lovely stretch now right down the left side of the body. And again, just returning to the breath there, visualizing, like I say, those little molecules moving through your body as you use the pranayama to invigorate all of your tissues and your cells, bringing about a sense of well-being through the body. Okay, gently releasing now, so uncrossing your ankles and letting go of your wrists. Bring yourself back through centre. And then now lift your upper torso over to the left. And lift your arms above your head here. And then take your right hand and grab hold of your left wrist. And then move your legs now over to the left and cross your right ankle over your left ankle. So again, beautiful stretch now down that right side of your body. And breathing, nice big breaths here. So remember, when you practice yoga, even if you come to a point where you don't feel like doing the asanas or the postures anymore, you can just find an asana that you like. It might be child's pose. And just relax and breathe into that space. Okay, let's release now. Take the feet over. Release the hands, lift the torso back through centre again there. And then now let's draw our knees into our chest. So let's make some nice circles here into the small of the back. Have your knees about hip width apart and notice how this allows the small part of the back to be rested wider on your mat. So in the morning when you practice, it's always good to be kind and gentle when you wake up your body. Finding where your edge is for the day and working with that. Okay, let's cross our ankles now, and we're just very slowly going to come up and then roll right over here onto our hands and knees. I'm just going to do a few cats and cows here. So dropping the head down now, tucking the tailbone under, coming into that cat pose, and I see my little cat Eric's join me. And then coming through now into that nice cow pose, so looking up and really pushing the buttocks back and out. Inhaling, coming through, tuck your tailbone, drop your head down and press the floor away through your fingertips. And then inhaling, coming through again. Feel that lovely stretch underneath the belly. Let's come now into that nice neutral spine. Today what we're going to do is we're going to lift up this right leg. We're going to tuck the toes and then press out through that heel. So really pressing there, feeling the stretch now into the calf muscle. And just holding that there for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to lift that leg up. You can point your toes if you like. And then another option here is to lift the left leg, arm up, beg your pardon. and breathe. So nice big breaths here. And what we're going to do is bring the elbow into the knee here and then extend it out. So elbow into knee and extend it out. Elbow into knee and extend it out. And then return your hand and your knee to where it was before. And let's come again. That nice, stretch into cow pose. And then into cat pose. Let's now do the same thing with the other side. So with the left leg now we raise it up, we tuck the toes under, and we bring that foot down onto the mat, and then we press out. So when you look down with these stretches, your toes should be well forward of your heels. So really feeling again that nice stretch into the calf muscle. And then we're going to raise that foot up, and again you might like to point your toes. And then now let's lift the right arm. And then the same thing for the other side. So knee to elbow. Nice gentle movement there. Let's just do that 3 times for today. Beautiful. Okay, let's bring the hands down now. Bring your knees mat width apart and have your toes to touch. And then pressing through your hands now, bring your buttocks down towards your heels. Let's now stack the fists here. Bring your fists now right down between your eyebrows. And I want you to make some nice big circles into that spot right between your eyebrows. And neurologically, this posture is very good for relaxation. So when your eyebrows are raised, you're in a state of being alert. When your eyebrows are lowered down, it allows you to relax. So remembering that our facial expressions also influence how we're feeling. You might notice that doing this slows your breathing rate down. Okay, let's now extend the arms out, over and front. If you have sore shoulders or problems with your shoulders, or it's too early in the morning for you, just gently bend your elbows and then still drop your head down to the mat. So what we're going to do now is walk the hands over to the side here. And then you're going to drop your head down here, and then you're gently going to push yourself into your right shoulder. So you're getting a real nice stretch there. Nice big breaths here. The knees are wide apart, so you're making the most of that full abdominal breath. And then now let's walk the hands back over to the other side. And then the same thing again now, just leaning into the left shoulder. So you just feel that takes that stretch just a little bit further into the right side of the body, which is what we want to do. And then we're just going to gently here come back through centre. And then we're going to come back up onto our hands and knees. And we're just going to gently now come over and sit on our buttocks. So crossing your knees here now, making sure that your ankles are just a little bit in front of your knees. And sitting up nice and tall, so bring the hands in behind you and really draw your shoulders back onto your spine. Just going to turn around a little bit here because we're going to do a little shoulder stretch here. So let's just raise up the right hand, bring it over onto the other shoulder, and then take your left hand and just grab hold of your elbows and draw them in together. I want you to drop that hand down your back and then take your left hand and gently bring it around here. So either you can grab hold of your shirt or you can take hold of your hands here. So opening up the shoulders there. And then if you want, you can bring that arm out and then turn your head to look over the right side, back through centre and then over to the left. And then bring the head back through centre again. Let's release here. Now let's roll the shoulders up and down. As you do that, you might like to inhale loudly and then exhale. Inhale up and then exhale. Let's now inhale this left hand up and bring it over to the other side, and then take your right hand and grab hold of your elbows again here. Okay, and then now just gently dropping that hand down to your back. Take your right hand now with your palm facing away from you. Bring it around behind you, and either you're going to grab hold of your shirt, or again you can grab your fingers, your partners there, and have that lovely shoulder opening. And again, opening the elbow up, so maybe looking over to the left this time, back through centre, and then over to the right, and then back again, and then gently releasing. Let's inhale the arms up here now. Just going to gently turn now and look over to the right. Come back through centre here. And then now let's turn and look over to the left. So this very simple exercise is really good for maintaining that lovely flexibility that we need, particularly when we're backing a car, if you don't have a car with a reversing camera. So inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, beautiful, and then releasing. Let's now come up onto our knees. So we're going to come into what we call here rock pose, so sitting down onto your heels here, and I want you to bring your hands now down onto your knees. I'm just going to tuck the chin in here, and then as you inhale you're going to pull your chest forward. Exhaling, coming back, inhaling, pulling the chest through, exhaling, inhaling here, pulling the chest through, exhaling, inhaling here, pulling that chest through, and then exhaling. Nice work there. And then again, let's now inhale those arms up, taking a really big breath here, and then exhaling. So it's amazing how sometimes just by taking a few lovely deep breaths we can improve our mental well-being. Let's take one nice more inhale here, and then exhale. That's beautiful. Let's come up now. So we're going to come into gate pose here. So just to begin with, check that your hips and your shoulders are in good alignment here. I'm going to stretch the right leg out to the side here. I'm going to take the hand down onto the thigh. I'm just going to take a little stretch over to that side. And breathing here. You can look up to the sky if you like. You can play with this, so turning your head down towards the floor and then looking up to the sky, or turn your palm up and down, noticing all of the different muscle groups that are affected just by these small movements. Then now let's bring that left hand down onto the ground, taking a beautiful stretch now across to the other side, and turn your palm up and turn your palm down, and then coming back up again. Let's do that one more time, taking that stretch over the other side, and then back down onto the ground again, and taking that stretch in the other direction. Gate pose. If you want to do this later, you can lift your leg up. It makes it a little bit harder. Inhaling up here. Let's return that leg to its position and repeat the same thing on the other side. So this time the left leg comes out. We just take a nice slide down that side there, and then open up now the right side of the body. You can look down to the floor again, up to the sky, turn your palms up and down. So it's quite good to move your eyes around because it really helps with your balance. And then now bringing that hand down onto the floor. Let's take that stretch the other way, looking up to the sky, down to the floor, and then coming back up again, over the other way. And one more time, down onto the mat here, taking that lovely stretch, and then coming back again. Let's return now to centre. I'm going to come down and lie on the mat here. So I want you now to just be aware of having your elbows so that they are right underneath your shoulders, and your buttocks so that they're nice and loose. You're going to cross your arms here, and we're just going to sit here and come into what we call Sphinx pose. So really just thinking about here of not being sunk down into your shoulders, but lifting yourself up and out of your shoulders. just gently breathing here. Okay, what we're going to do now is come into cat's tail. So what I want you to do is to bring your hand underneath your left ear and extend out your right leg. Now that might be enough for you here. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can now bend your left leg, take your right hand and grab hold of that foot and pull that foot in towards your buttock. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can draw that right shoulder back, so taking the stretch a little bit further. It's a lovely stretch, this cattail, and you need to watch cats to see how good they are at stretching themselves out, and then gently release it. Let's now just come back through centre here. Let's just drop the head down here and just gently rock the legs from side to side. And then now let's come through over to the other side. So this time the left leg goes out to the side, and then I'm going to bend my right leg, pulling it into my buttock there. So again, and drawing the shoulder back here, so really making the most of that stretch. And gently releasing. Okay, so what we're going to do now is come back again and roll back over onto our bellies. We're going to draw the knees into the chest, making some nice big circles. So gently cooling the body down now. If you wish, you can take your arms to the side here and just gently allow your legs to drop over to the left. And then inhaling them back through centre, drop them over to the right. And then coming back here now, so let's place the feet on the floor and just nice and gently now lengthen your right leg and then your left leg. Bring your hands down onto your belly. I want you to push on your elbows and lift your head up, so that allows your shoulder blades to roll back out so that your hands can come open. And if necessary, while your hands are there, lift your buttocks and really let those buttocks spread across the floor, the mat. And then flex your feet so your feet are nice and wide apart. And we'll just use some yoga nidra or guided meditation to finish our practice. So just imagining now that those little cells that you've now breathed in, imagine the light of those little cells on the hemoglobin now circulating through your toes, into your feet, into your ankles, into your calf muscles, into your kneecaps, into your thigh muscles, the big quadriceps in the front and the hamstrings in the back, your gluteus maximus or your big buttock muscles, your pelvic girdle gently cradling all of your abdominal organs, your stomach, your liver, your spleen, your gallbladder, your pancreas. Visualize your beating heart and your lungs now fully inflating and deflating. And feel the warmth from your heart extending down into your fingertips, your wrists, your forearms, your elbows, your upper arms, your shoulders, your neck, your jaw, your tongue, your teeth, your eyeballs. And just take a moment now to think about your practice. So allowing yourself time to integrate what you've just done into your body and your mind, and capturing whatever it is that you feel following that practice. And very slowly now we're going to bring ourselves back to the room. So we'll wiggle our fingers and our toes. We'll lift our right hand above our head and we'll bend our left leg and we'll just gently roll over to the right side. Taking a nice big breath here, let's press through that left hand, inhaling up here. And then let's come to the end of our practice. So we're going to acknowledge each other for being present here today. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today I'm going to share with you a Ministry of Health link on how to stay well while we're in alert level 4. So taking a nice big breath now, inhaling, exhaling. And we thank each other, namaste.